Greetings, booktubers, and welcome back to Grammaticus Books. What we got online for you here today is a good one. We've got Titan Comics Conan issue number 4. Here in my hot little hand, it took a little while longer than I had originally planned. This is late Friday evening. I wound up having to work late the last 3 nights. So, as the old adage goes, men plans and God laughs. Or I should say, man plans and God laughs, and God has been laughing heartily at Grammaticus for the last couple of days. Fortunately, I have a loving wife who I texted while at work this Friday and asked her if she could go to the comic book shop, which she does not like, and if she would pick up my Conan comic book for me at the comic book shop, which she did. Went in there and asked for my reserved issue, picked it up for me so I could come back and review it and get this video out to you guys. That is true love right there. That's a keeper, ladies and gentlemen, so thank you to my wife for doing that. I really appreciate it, hun. Also, speaking of thank yous, I got to thank the entire creative team at Titan Comics. This is issue number 4. It brings this story arc to a close, and this has just been fantastic stuff. The entire creative team over there, Jim Zub, Robert De La Torre, Dean White, Jim Starkings. Apologies, Jim, I got to double check your last names here. Starkings. And then Matt Murray, the editor. What a fantastic job by all these guys. So this is Bound in Blackstone, Vengeance of the Lost, which brings this whole arc to a conclusion. I've reviewed the first 3 of these issues as well. If you haven't checked those out, I'll put a link in the description below. Go down and check those out. Another thing to mention before we get into a review of the comic, and there will be spoilers, so you've been warned, is the sales on this. We've had sales figures that have come out, and the sales on this thing apparently are through the roof. They're some of the best sales ever for Titan Comics, and that's a gigantic win for us, the fans, and for Titan Comics. Well-deserved on Titan Comics' part. Means we're going to continue to get Conan the Barbarian from Titan Comics. We may even get a reboot of the black and white Savage Sword from Titan Comics in the large black and white format, which would be fantastic. I would be all over that if they come out with it. But the biggest news is if this is that popular, and I think the initial run was about 80,000, and I think 2 and 3 were around 100,000. Hopefully this keeps going up, and if we get runs on this like that, what we may wind up doing is attracting a younger generation. They may be attracted in by Titan Comics Conan, and that could lead them to the Robert E. Howard stories eventually. And if that would happen, that would be just a colossal win for the whole Conan community. It means a whole new generation could be being brought in via these Titan comics into the Robert E. Howard Conan character. And that would just be the biggest win that we could hope for. So let's hope that that happens. So what about the book itself? I've got it here today. I've absolutely went through it. I devoured it. This whole series has just been getting better and better with each issue. And this issue is no exception. This is a great issue. I think it's the best issue of the 4-part arc so far. It starts here with a bang, and it just goes through to the end. The cover on here is the Robert De La Torre A cover. It's nice and moody. I like it. And is Conan sinking down into the pit of the black abyss. If you have seen number 3, the issue number 3, you know that one ended with Conan killing the head priest who was creating the zombies, was going into the villagers in Pickland and Samaria, was creating the zombies. He goes in and frees some fellow Sumerians, and they take on these priests, these non-human priests, and Conan kills one with a blade, an ancient Pictish blade, and then they're sinking into this necromantic pool of black magic. So as he's sinking down, Conan starts to succumb to the black magic in the pool. It's too powerful even for Conan the Barbarian. And I really like the dark, moody coloring that Mr. Dean White has put on there. It really fits the whole vibe of it. But as Conan is sinking down, he gets a vision. He has a mystical vision, and he's visited by Brule the Spear Slayer of Call fame. And Brule, as he's sinking down there and is being overcome by this dark power, explains to him the origin of the dark power and how he had fought it successfully millennia ago. and that the Pictish blade he has actually was an ancient weapon that was part of a pike. And they show the pike up here. And I've got to do a little bit another mea culpa here. In my last review, I mentioned that as an editorial, possible editorial slip, that he was said to have killed, Conan was said to have killed the head priest with a Pictish pike. So that's right here at the start. And there's the said Pictish pike, but it's obviously a sword. And I thought it was an editorial mistake. It turns out that, in fact, it wasn't. That was actually the team doing a little foreshadowing for Brule the Spear Slayer. So I think I got to eat a little crow on that one. That was also pointed out by Stygian Dogs in his review of this issue of Conan #4. If you haven't seen Stygian Dogs' review of it, I'll also link his great video down below as well. But he mentions that too. So Brule continues to explain to Conan in this mystic visitation the origin and how they defeated this ancient evil. And then here's a nice splash page from De La Torre of he and his Pictish warriors fighting back the ancient evil. And you've got the black stone that's originating it all up here in this ominous background. And then this great foreground here of Brule and his warriors. And what great work from De La Torre. I just can't say enough about Robert De La Torre's artwork through this entire series. Then you come back to Brule. He's giving Conan a little bit last-minute advice for his upcoming battle. And then down here, he sticks his forearm into Conan's chest, metaphorically speaking. I think this is all happening in his head. And imparts to him a little extracurricular strength and fortitude to take on the evil that he's now going to have to combat. So Conan comes to here on these pages and then knows what he has to do. He has to go down and at all costs in order to save Samaria, even if it means the cost of his life, and go down and defeat the ancient evil. And again, you've just got this great moody coloring from Dean White that I really love. And this pose right here, the artwork from De La Torre, that's just fantastic stuff. And it doesn't let up through the whole comic. This is really great stuff. And I'm going to pause a little bit here to talk about the writing. Here's Conan after he defeats the ancient evil. The gods spare him and use a bolt of lightning in order to blast him up out of the pool and save his life. But the writing in here is just locked on. Jim Zub and the writing on here on issue #4, he's just got it dialed in. I really like it a lot. I know I had some minor issues with the writing in the first couple of Conan issues that came out, 1 and 2 in particular. But in this one right here, I mean, it is on point. Jim Zub is just nailing it. And I really, really enjoyed the writing. I thought he really put it in and dialed it in to Conan and just hit the nail right on the head. So Conan has been expelled from the pool of evil, and he's back up here with his one remaining Sumerian compatriot, and they pick up where they left off and fighting the evil non-human priests that have brought forth this evil upon the lands of Pictland and Samaria, trying to fight their way free. And again, here you've got this fantastic artwork. Love the posing, the layouts. That pose right there by De La Torre, that's just classic stuff. And then the coloring is perfect as well. You've got this crimson reds up here, right in the right panels, in order to accent the action on the page. And it's just perfectly done. Like I said, these Conan issues from 1 through 4, they've just progressively gotten better and better. And this is absolutely the best one in my opinion. So they win free. They win free of the Dark Tower with the Dark Stone. And of course, once the power has been taken out of an evil wizard's tower, you know what happens to it. It has to collapse and it goes down. And then Conan asks where his fellow warrior, who he's linked up with throughout these comics, Brissa the Pict, is. And he's told to his dismay that she went into the tower to try to save him just before it collapsed. Somehow, however, I feel that we have not seen the last of Brissa the Pict. I'm just going to go out on a limb there and say and put that one out there. I think Briss is going to show up in some later episodes. And then you get a little postscript here. So it's following this battle that Conan had. It's springtime in the area here in Samaria, and you have some Asgards who are traveling through the area, and then one reaches down and he finds a piece of the black stone. So you've got a little dark postscript to it, which I really like. It's a really nice touch to bring the story around and finish it off. So well done, Titan Comics. 2 thumbs up on this one. Really liked it a lot. This is just a super strong comic on a super strong series. If you haven't gone out and got this yet, I highly recommend go out and pick up these comics now. I mean, this comic line is going to go down as one of the great Conan comic books. And if you don't get it now, you're going to be forced to get it in an omnibus some years from now, and it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. Do yourself the favor. Go out and pick these things up now while you can get them in your comic book stores. Maybe get a couple of the alternate covers. Speaking of alternate covers, there was one in here that really jumped out at me. So here we are on the back page. You've got the alternate covers up top. And this one here it's Carrie Nord, which is a remake of Frazetta's The Frost Giant's Daughter cover off of the classic book. And I just love that. I think that's a great reworking of that classic Frazetta painting. I may have to go out and try and track that one down. But great stuff. So in conclusion, I can't give enough praise to this last issue. I think it just peaked right at the right time. They're all good, and they just keep getting better with each successive issue. I'm really looking forward to the new line when it comes out. I'll definitely pick it up and give you guys reviews of it as it comes out as well. I've been very excited for it. Just 2 thumbs up. Way to go. So I'll get this out on Saturday morning. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you've read it and you've got a different opinion, or you've got something here that you'd like to bring out, please put it in the comments section down below. I do read and try to respond to all the comments, and I do appreciate them very much. And one final piece of news. So I'll have this up on Saturday morning. Like I said, it's late Friday, and I'm about ready to crash out here, to be honest with you guys. But I'll get this up Saturday morning, and then on Monday morning, maybe Sunday evening, but probably Monday morning, I'll have a release on the new video. That's going to be a good one. It's going to be a bit different. It's going to have Green Berets. It's going to have action-adventure novels, and it may even have a little bit of singing in it. So stay tuned for that one. I think you'll enjoy it. And other than that, this is Grammaticus saying, take care, be safe, and hopefully I'll be catching you all in the future.